The arena fell silent as the massive transport cage descended onto the blood-stained sand. Inside, wrapped in torn fabric that had once been a colorful dress, sat Mira Lane. 8 years old, brown hair matted with sweat, knees scraped and bruised. Her captors, the Krell Supremacy, had taken her from the human colony on Proxima 7 3 cycles ago, along with dozens of others meant to serve as entertainment. High Chieftain Zornak leaned forward in his crystalline observation throne, mandibles clicking with anticipation. Around him, thousands of alien spectators from across the galaxy packed the Colosseum, their various forms of excitement creating a cacophony of shrieks, roars, and electronic pulses. "Release the child," Zornak commanded, his voice amplified across the arena. The cage door hissed open. Mira stepped out slowly, shielding her eyes against the harsh binary suns beating down on the arena. She had stopped crying 2 days ago. Tears didn't help. They never did. Across the arena, another cage began to rise from beneath the sand. And now, Zornak announced with cruel pleasure, "Witness Ravthar, the pale death, the ghost of 1,000 hunts, the apex predator of Vorlax Prime. Undefeated, unstoppable. Let the human understand what happens to those who dare colonize beyond their worthless solar system." The second cage exploded upward, and Ravthar emerged. The creature was magnificent and terrifying in equal measure. Standing 4 meters tall at the shoulder, the albino wolf's white fur seemed to glow against the red sand. Its eyes burned crimson and its fangs, each as long as Mira's forearm, dripped with bioluminescent saliva. Scars covered its muscular frame, trophies from countless battles. It had devoured warriors from 17 different species in this very arena. The crowd erupted in bloodthirsty cheers. Mira stood perfectly still, watching the massive predator. Her heart hammered in her chest, but something else stirred within her. Something her grandmother had taught her before the colony fell. "Fear and respect aren't the same thing, sweet girl. Animals know the difference." Ravthar padded forward, each step deliberate, its massive paws leaving deep impressions in the sand. Its nostrils flared, tasting the air. Human, small, weak, easy prey. The wolf lowered its head, lips curling back to reveal those devastating fangs. A growl rumbled from deep within its chest, a sound that had been the last thing many proud warriors had heard. Mira didn't run. Instead, she did something that stunned every being in the arena into confused silence. She sat down. Cross-legged in the sand, she placed her small hands in her lap and looked up at Ravthar with eyes that held no malice, no aggression, only curious observation and something the predator had never encountered from prey before, acknowledgement without submission. "Hi," Mira said softly. "You're very pretty." Ravthar stopped 3 meters away, confused. Its prey always ran, always screamed, always gave chase. This small creature sat calmly, its body language speaking no threat, offering no challenge. The wolf's instincts warred within itself. In the stands, Zornak's mandibles clicked in irritation. "What is the human doing?" "Ravthar, feed." But Mira continued speaking, her voice carrying a gentle cadence. "I had a dog once. His name was Barley. He was big too, but not as big as you. You remind me of him. Strong and beautiful." She slowly extended one small hand, palm up, non-threatening. "Are you lonely?" "I'm lonely too." Ravthar crept closer, its crimson eyes fixed on the tiny human. Every combat instinct screamed that this was wrong, that prey didn't behave this way. But curiosity, that most dangerous of traits in any intelligent creature, pulled the wolf forward. The great beast lowered its massive head, sniffing the outstretched hand. Mira's scent carried no fear pheromones, none of the chemical panic that usually made prey so delicious. Instead, there was something else. Sadness, loneliness, and beneath it all, an inexplicable warmth. Slowly, carefully, Mira touched the wolf's nose. The arena erupted in confusion. Aliens jumped from their seats, shouting in a dozen languages. Zornak stood, his carapace flushing dark with rage. "Impossible. Ravthar is a killer. Seize that child and—" But it was too late. Ravthar's massive tongue swept across Mira's face, nearly knocking her over. The wolf then lowered itself onto the sand, rolling partially onto its side, the ultimate gesture of trust in a predator. Mira laughed, the first genuine sound of joy she'd made since her capture. and wrapped her arms around as much of the massive creature as she could reach. "Good boy," she whispered into the white fur. Good boy." The pale death terror of 1,000 hunts closed its eyes and made a sound no one in the arena had ever heard from it before. A contented rumble, almost like a purr. Zornak descended from his throne, flanked by armed guards. "This is unacceptable. Kill them both." But as the guards approached, Ravthar rose to its feet, placing itself between Mira and the Krell warriors. The wolf's demeanor transformed instantly, lips pulled back, hackles raised, a growl of pure menace that made even the armored guards stumble backward. Mira stood beside the wolf, one small hand resting on its leg. "You shouldn't have taken me from my mom," she said, her young voice carrying unexpected steel. "You shouldn't take anyone from their families. It's mean." For 3 hours the standoff continued. Every attempt to approach resulted in Ravthar's aggressive defense. Every weapon aimed at the wolf sent it into protective fury. The arena descended into chaos as the crowd argued, some demanding blood, others fascinated by this unprecedented display. Finally, a voice cut through the discord, Ambassador Tillanth of the Concordat, the Galactic Council that maintained fragile peace between species. "Honored chieftain," the insectoid diplomat said carefully, "the Concordat has laws regarding sentient children and weapons of war. This display has been broadcast across 17 systems. The humans will not accept their child's murder, and it appears you can no longer control your champion." Zornak's mandibles ground together in fury, but he understood politics. The Krell were powerful, but not powerful enough to stand against the entire Concordat, and definitely not against humanity if they martyred a child. "Take the human," he spat, "and take that traitorous beast with her. They are both banished from Krell space." 2 weeks later, Mira Lane walked down the ramp of the Concordat transport vessel onto Proxima 7th, her mother sobbing and running toward her. Behind Mira, moving with surprising gentleness, came Ravthar. The wolf had refused to be separated from the child. As mother and daughter embraced, Ravthar stood guard, its albino form gleaming in the colony's artificial light. The wolf that had killed countless warriors had found something stronger than bloodlust: purpose. News of the incident spread like wildfire through the galaxy. The Krell supremacy became a laughingstock, brought low not by warriors or weapons, but by an 8-year-old girl with kindness in her heart. Other species began to question their assumptions about humans. If their children could turn apex predators into protectors through simple compassion, what else were these strange beings capable of? In the years that followed, Mira Lane and Ravthar became legends, symbols of an uncomfortable truth the galaxy was learning. Humanity's greatest strength wasn't their technology or their warfare. It was their inexplicable ability to forge bonds where none should exist, to find common ground in the most hostile environments, and to respond to cruelty not with despair, but with defiant hope. High Chieftain Zornak had wanted to teach humanity a lesson about their place in the galaxy. He succeeded, just not the lesson he intended.